So that so-called All-Star weekend that just happened, now that it's over, it's time to really focus on what's more important for the New Orleans Pelicans moving forward. And that's a couple things. I'm going to break that down right now in the Pelicans Scoop. Cue my music.
This is the Pelicans Scoop with Jordan Kitchens, breaking down everything under the sun about your New Orleans Pelicans. Smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay on top of your Pels content. Now, running point, here's Jordan.
What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another edition of the Pelicans Scoop. I am your host with the most, Jordan Kitchens. And yes, y'all see, the studio's coming along. I'm not back in the bando with the boarded up. You know, we got a little progress. Almost done, but you guys shall see. So, guys, I'm coming to this community that I'm trying to build. I'm coming to you guys as humble as possible right now. I'm asking for forgiveness. You're like, Jordan, what are you talking about? Forgiveness? What? I'm asking for forgiveness for two things. One, I've been the biggest, and I mean, one, I ain't gonna say, no. I've been the biggest. I've been the biggest advocate on not tanking. Because it's just a couple of reasons. I'm going to break them down later on in the video. But I've been the biggest advocate against tanking because it is a lottery system. This is not the NFL draft where the worst teams get the best players. Like, no, you still have to put your hands basically in God's hands and just get lucky or unlucky, like the Detroit Pistons who end up getting Cade Cunningham. But Asor Thompson, Ron Holland, we'll see with him. But Cade Cunningham. You can get unlucky having a worse record and still not getting rewarded with the number one pick. Little backstory with the current climate of New Orleans sports dealing with the Saints and the Pelicans, doesn't seem like we're getting any good returns anytime soon. You know, referring to the little scandal they got going on with the Saints and Gail Benson trying to cover that up with the Archdiocese, and just the Pelicans just cursed. Pelicans just cursed, as advocaatly said by Dyson Daniels. Like, we're just cursed. So I don't see them getting any type of blessings anytime soon, unfortunately. And I hate to be that way, but we just need to focus on a couple things, guys. Number one, now that we're moving forward out of All-Star break, Yves Missi, if you guys don't know, he has an injury. He hyperextended his knee in their last game, or we'll see them McCollum put up 43 points against the Sacramento Kings. Yeah, Yves Missi went down. Great. Granted, he didn't tear nothing, so that's great, but, you know, it's still a blow because you have zero big men now. Like, they had Carlo playing a 3 the other night, but you have no bigs moving forward. Trey Jemison, Daniel Tice over cross seas now. Like, you have nobody. If you want to call Daniel Tice a big man, that's up to you. I don't discriminate. So you have nobody now. So just keep that in mind. So moving forward out of All-Star break, this is what the main goals need to be for the Pelicans. Keep letting Trey and Zion develop their two-man game. Keep letting them fill each other out, pause. Keep letting them understand each other on the court. Understand, okay, this is what Trey likes the ball. Okay, this is what Zion likes the ball. Keep building that continuity. I wish Missi was still there. And, you know, Carlo has not. He's been a pleasant surprise. See what you got in Carlo. Just see what you got in all these guys. Antonio Reeves, Jordan Hawkins. None of this matters anymore. That's the main thing. Biggest thing for the Pelicans is player development. Develop these guys for next year. And that's something that the Pelicans have not done too well lately in the past. But find a way, Willie, to and it's like putting this in Willie Green hands. It's like giving a dog some milk and a bowl of cereal and expecting to do something with it. Not going to do a damn thing with it. Even if you give him the ingredients, he's still not going to do a damn thing with it. So that's a little conflicting, but that needs to be the main thing. And the number two thing that needs to be the main thing is losing. I hate to say it. That's why I'm begging for forgiveness. It's time to lose. Granted, they've done a really good job at losing when trying to win. So I guess you can keep that up because they've been losing and they've been trying to win. So I guess you can't say tanking necessarily, but it's time. Your 13 wins, we've seen enough. All right, the Utah Jazz, the Washington Wizards, they're finna put in the high gear and really show you the art of tanking, the art of selling your season. You're about to watch a masterclass by the Utah Jazz and what Danny Ainge's finna pull off because they want Cooper Flag back. And honestly, I'm willing to go on a limb right now. That's what Cooper Flag will be. He will be drafted by the Utah Jazz. Let's come back to this. I think Cooper Flag will go to Utah. It's just perfect for them. I mean, I'm not trying to get into like a race thing, but it's the Great White Hope, right? They just drafted Filipowski, whatever his name is, from Duke last year. You know, the Utah Jazz have been booty cheeks for a while now, trying to get a generational talent to come to Utah because nobody's gonna go to Utah as a free agent. So I think this is finally the time to get rewarded with the #1 pick, and it'll be Cooper Flag, and they can build with Collier is a great point guard, Keontae George, Cooper Flag. You know, they might move on John Collins, but Walker Kessler, Flipikowski, however you say his name, with the 30-year-old girlfriend while he was in high school. Like, I think that's where my mind is set. That's where I think Cooper Flag is going. I would love for Cooper Flag to be on the New Orleans Pelicans. I would love it because he's the most consistent out of the big three. The big three who I consider the big three right now for the top 3 picks are like your Ace Baileys, your Dylan Harpers, Cooper Flag. I think Cooper Flag is above them, not even close. Ace, the Rutgers guys, the Ace Baileys and them, they're just, Rutgers is a bad program, so they're just super, super like inconsistent sometimes. Harper's a little bit more consistent than what Ace Bailey, but my goodness, but when they have a bad game, they have bad games, smelly games. Like, go look at Ace Bailey's stats last couple games. Go look at Dylan Harper's stats last couple games. It's a little scary. So, but I just don't think the Pelicans are gonna get the #1 pick overall. #1 pick overall. I would love it, but I just don't see it happen. Like I said, I just don't personally. I just don't see it happening. But it would be great for the city, and overall, like what the possibilities could be with a Zion, Cooper Flag, Trey Murphy, maybe DeJounte Murray. You know, shakes back from that injury, but just seeing what that core could be with Eve Measy back, I like it a lot. But I want to get to this, guys. The season is a total failure if they don't get a top 3 pick. The Pelicans cannot fall out the top 3. Cannot fall out the top 3. Speaking of that, here's a crazy statistic that I found on Reddit. Granted, it's from Reddit. I can't give you the list, but, you know, guys on Reddit, they do their research. For people like me that don't like to do the numbers and crunch the numbers, there's people out there that will do that and give you the data behind it. So this is crazy stat I got from Reddit. So this comes from Toronto Raptors subreddit, and it goes, because I was trying to figure out what was the last team that had the worst overall record that got rewarded with the #1 pick. Like I said, there's a lottery system, and you'll find out a couple things. So the worst record in the league has yet to pick #1 since NBA changed the lottery odds. Just so you know, a little draft day discussion. So in 2024, who got the #1 pick? The Atlanta Hawks. They had the 10th best odds. The #1 odded team that had the best odds, 5th pick. 2023, third best odds get the #1 pick. #1 drops to 5. 2022, the second best odds, they get the #1. Well, 2020, the second best odds, they get the #1 pick. The #1 drops to 3. In 2021, second best odd wins. #1 pick drops to 2. In 2020, the third best odd wins the lottery. The overall #1 drops to #2. In 2019, that's the Zion year, Pelicans had the 7th best odds, and they ended up getting the #1 pick. Who had the best odds, the #1 team, they ended up getting the 3rd pick. So just because you have the worst record does not mean you will get the #1 pick. So I hate when the Pelicans win a meaningless game against the Kings. Everybody's like, "Wow, we winning! Oh my God!" I'm just like, dude. Do you people realize that that's not how it works? It's okay for them to win a game every now and then. You just need to be in the top 5 worst teams. Have to be. You have to be in the top 5. Honestly, if you're top 3, you should get a little bit. No, but I'm okay with being in the bottom 5. That's where I feel like the Pelicans will make their money, in the bottom 5. Continuing on, he says, I found this kind of crazy that the worst team has yet to win the lottery since I keep saying Alvin Silver. Adam Silver changed the rules in 2018. Also that the picks by the team with the worst record have been kind of underwhelming. 2024, Detroit Pistons had the worst record in the NBA. They ended up getting Ron Holland. We'll see about him. 2023, the Detroit Pistons had the worst record in the NBA. They got Asar Thompson. I can't agree with that. Asar Thompson is amazing. 2022, Houston Rockets had the worst record in the NBA. They got Jabari Smith Jr. 2021, the Houston Rockets had the worst record in the NBA. They got Jalen Green. 2020, the Golden State Warriors, worst record in the NBA. They ended up getting James Wiseman, who... hate to call him a bust. I feel like he could have been really good. And then in 2019, the Knicks were the worst record, team with the worst record, ended up getting R.J. Barrett, who's not on their team anymore, who's on the Toronto Raptors. So that just goes to show you that just because you have the worst record in the NBA does not mean a goddamn thing. That does not mean just because, the Pelicans have lost the most, they are guaranteed to get Cooper Flag. I hate when people be making that assumption because the numbers show that's not how it's been going. Really, you really need to be the top 10. If you're in the top 10, it's game on. It's game on. If you in a top 10 pick odd, like in that range from 1 to 10, you in that range, you can end up with the #1 pick. And it's been shown time and time again. So, and it's honestly, it kind of stops teams from really going super tank mode and just being bad. You just got to be one of the worst. That's where I think the Pelicans can be. Or that's why I didn't say can. That's what they will be. Nothing's finna change. And we can discuss about moving forward about that, but this is about what needs to happen out of All-Star break. This team needs to kick it in full tank mode, which they already been doing pretty much all season because they've been trying to win, and they still be getting their heads kicked in. So just keep that up. Just keep letting Trey and Zion develop. See what you got in everybody else. See what you got in Carlos. See what you got in Antonio Reeves. See what you got in Jordan Hawkins if he can shake something back. See what you got in these guys because moving forward, you're going to have to make some decisions. You're going to have to, part some ways. Even though that's put in David Griffin hands about making moves, and that's just something he's not his forte. So we shall see. So thank you guys for sticking in for another edition of the Pelicans Scoop. I have been your host of the most, Jordan Kitchens. And ladies and gentlemen, y'all let me know down below, what do you guys think the Pelicans should do? I think I gave a pretty good reason. If you agree with me, you agree. If you don't, just let me know. So thank you guys for sticking in. I'm out. Peace!